If you're running a med spa or telemedicine peptide clinic and you want to scale your ads and make a significant amount of money, I'm talking $50,000 to $100,000 per month more. This video, I'm going to cover the top ad strategies that I would be using in 2025. Now, who am I? I'm Daniel Walton, founder of Patient Acquisition. Over the last 3 years, we've helped hundreds of clinics scale to 7, 8, and even 9-figure run rates. Yes, that means $100 million in revenue generated. In the last year alone, I've helped 4 clinics scale to an 8-figure run rate, of course, all profitably. And we manage over the course of a year about $10 million in marketing campaigns. Simply put, we see a lot of data, right? That's why you hire an agency. We have a lot of data at scale, and we've been very fortunate and lucky to get some pretty big players. So we can see at scale, in the course of a month, most agencies you might hire would see in the course of a year. We're seeing that same data in the course of a month. So everything I'm going to show you today is what is working today. Now, keep in mind, what strategies are oftentimes being used are old strategies. Oftentimes you hire somebody cheap and they're just copying somebody like me who is paying and investing heavily into these platforms. So I'm seeing what's working now. So they're seeing what was working, right? What I'm doing today, it might take a month, 2 months for the market to finally catch on to it and try to replicate it. And by that time, I'm already doing something different. So these are strategies that have been very successful for us. And these are the top strategies that I would deploy today. Now, this first strategy, we call this our cookie jar strategy. You might laugh. Why the cookie jar? Okay, if you know what cookies are, they're these little things that go on your website. I actually don't know all the tech behind it. I have people that do, but the cookies are being eliminated. Now, Google has updated privacy policies significantly to where they're going to eventually eliminate this. By 2025, cookies are going to be completely gone. This is something that we get in data as marketers. We get cookies, and this is what we're able to use to retarget, to know who comes on the website. So this strategy is going to be huge in helping combat the privacy issues. So privacy has been changing. It's been making all of these marketing campaigns significantly more challenging. 2018 is when it started. 2021, if you have an iPhone, they said, hey, we're not going to allow people to track us across other apps. That really hurt things. And most of these marketing companies are still using old, outdated strategies that is like, oh, go opt in as a lead and then, schedule, which I'm not saying that we don't use leads or schedules. We do, but we have a different way of really leveraging the data that we're providing. And the reason for that is because the privacy issues that have changed, right? So the cookie jar strategy is going to help with those privacy issues. Why? Well, because it keeps people on the platform. And this is what these apps are wanting. They don't want people to go off the platform because they know they don't have as much data. So what do? They actually reward you for this. The more watch time you have, the more engagement you have, all these things are going to help. Now, what exactly is the cookie jar strategy? Okay. Why we called it that. So as I explained it, cookies are going away. So this is a leverage, right? You put your hand in the cookie jar, there's no cookies. Well, the good news for you, we found a way of putting the cookies back in and it doesn't violate any of these ad policies. Now, setting this up is a little challenging, so I'm not going to cover that in this video. I'm just going to tell you exactly what it does. Now, what exactly does the cookie jar strategy do? So one, it builds social proof. When you launch an ad, there's no social proof behind it. You can run an image, a video, whatever, but it's just it'll have the views. Now, some of them you might spend thousands of dollars and you might see a lot of views on it, but there's not really any social proof. And these are social media platforms. Go figure that these platforms reward you for social experiences, social proof. So essentially what we do with this strategy is we're able to create an engagement post. Now, you can create an engagement post as an ad, but most of the time you can't create an engagement post as an ad to drive a conversion. This is where I say it gets very complex. And in this video, I'm not going to show you how to set that up. There's a strategy. I would consider it a gray hat strategy. A lot of people don't even know about this, but you can create this engagement post. You can run a headline and run it as a lead or a booking. And what will happen is you'll see it builds social proof. You're going to get likes. You're going to get shares. You're going to get comments. And what happens, we run this engagement post, and this is actually an ad for your business, and people they're going to like it. They're going to share it because that's what we're telling the platform we want. But what we do is we then turn that engagement post into an ad, a conversion ad. By doing this, what happens is this normal engagement post you can run, anybody can do this, it's not hard, but it's where you turn it into an ad where it gets challenging. Now, instead of having this ad that has no likes, no shares, no comments, because you're not asking it, generally with most like direct response ads, call to action ads like opt in as a lead or book an appointment, generally you don't have much social proof, right? You don't have likes, you don't have shares, you don't have comments because you're not asking for those. by us setting this up as an engagement post, we're able to get all of these things because of how we set it up. Now, when we convert it, we're converting this engagement post. So first you set it up as an engagement post, and then you convert it to a call to action / direct response ad. Now with this, why is this beneficial? Well, when you set up a normal call to action or direct response ads, which most lead companies, that's what they're doing, right? Hey, buy this treatment, pay for this, become a lead, book an appointment, whatever it is, you have a significantly higher CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions, right? So this lowers the CPM. Now, why does it do it? Well, because we have all this engagement. We've built the engagement. Because we started this first as an engagement post, right? Now we convert it to an ad. And when it's an ad, Facebook, these platforms, they're tricked. They're like, wow, this is a really good ad. It has all these likes. It has all these shares. You as a business too, like you have all these comments. People are like, how much? How do I sign up? What's the next steps? And as you, as the business owner, continue to comment and engage with them, this is where it gets crazy. And this is what happens is you'll literally just see like your CPMs dropping, which cost per 1,000 impressions. That's how Facebook measures how much you get paid, right? And a lot of these can be very expensive, right? So what we're doing is we're actually doing two things. We're building the social proof and we're decreasing your costs. So why this is beneficial, it's going to lower your CPM, which means lower costs, which is lower costs on the ads. It's going to also help improve the CTR. Well, how does this improve the CTR if it's the same ad? Well, as they're scrolling, you notice those pieces of content that have hundreds of comments, saves, shares, like it shows all those things. You're going to see all of that on there. So it improves the CTR. We've immediately turned ads around from doing this with improved CTR. And what we've seen is, I mean, we've completely turned around some clients' results. Like we had one client, she came to us, she was struggling to get past like $40,000 a month. We implemented this strategy, the cookie jar strategy, and we were able to turn her ads around, get her profitable. And within less than 8 months, we scaled her clinic to over $125,000 in recurring revenue, over $75,000 in monthly recurring revenue from weight loss, and everything was more profitable. So she got lower costs on her ads, improved click-through rates, improved social proof. And this is huge because when you run ads, there's no feeling to it. There's no touch to it. It's just like, do this, buy this thing. But when you run a post that's an engagement that has all these questions from your audience, how much is this? And you're like, hey, great question. Thanks for answering, right? So you have this engagement and it shows that you're actually responsive to these people, that you actually care about these. It improves your social proof. So that's the high level. You will not be able to do this yourself. I promise you that. Don't even try it. If you're a media buyer watching this, you won't be able to do this because not sure how Facebook works, but we're essentially hacking Facebook. We're tricking Facebook to think that we're doing an engagement post, but it's actually a lead post, a conversion post as an ad. So don't try setting this up. If you want to, join my inner circle, I can show you how to do this, or we would do this for you. Now, who is this cookie jar strategy good for? This is going to be great for, newer businesses. This is going to be great to turn around, help with low CTR rates. This is just going to be a great strategy to implement pretty much for any business. I run this on a lot of my ads. We do this and we've seen I'll launch an ad and some of my ads that I think are going to do really well. For some reason, they just have really low click-through rates. And I'm like, that's kind of surprising. I thought this was going to do better. We'll implement this. We'll immediately see our CTR go up. And then because our CTR is going up, the algorithm thinks this is a great post. We're going to reward you. And my CPM slowly starts to drop. So what we do is we'll put a certain budget toward engagement and it's going to drive the engagement. As we start getting certain engagement, then we start decreasing the budget on the engagement and increasing the budget on the post. And what you'll see is I'll draw a graph so that you can visually understand this, right? If this is the engagement and then this is the CPM, which is cost per 1,000 impressions, that's how Facebook bills you. So think of this as your costs. As your engagement goes up, your CPM goes down. So this is what happens. Generally, what people see is the opposite effect. Most ads are like this. They go up like this. The cost starts to go up over time because the people are watching less of it. They don't want to see it, all these other things. But essentially what we've done is we've tricked the algorithm. We're getting more comments, right? More likes, more saves, all this stuff is happening and we're getting more of it. So you can see the engagement goes up, the CPM goes down. Well, you get the point. So when we have more engagement, our CPM is going to decrease. You'll see lower costs, more engagement, everything's going to be improved from this cookie jar strategy.